This meeting is being recorded. Okay. Let me start. I just share my PPT. Okay. Okay. So have you seen
Yes, ma'am.
PPT? PPT
Yes,
is
ma'am.
visible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So that day means last Friday, we have seen some how we calculate the critical path, right? So there we use very easy method, and the formula is like that: TO, TQ, and TP. TO means opportunity cost, then TP, TM means modern or most like time of cost, and TP is the what pessimistic times, right? Now, so on that basis, we have calculate the critical path, whatever, whichever is less, that means your work done on time, and if it is take long time, it means the critical path is that it will take long time, right? So you have just calculated and show on that basis. So that day we have seen what kind of diagram and logic we have to use, and for that particular path we need to give some code or name like A, B, C, D, E. So it's easy to show that particular path, right? And the work is going on phase wise, group wise, right? So group A, group B, group C. So it's easy to define that which group completed their tasks on which time. Okay, so because it's a depending task, if A is not completed, B not start, AB is not completed, C not start, right? And sometimes work depends on C and E also, because F will not finish the task because C and E not done their task, right? So the time limit is there. If you follow the timelines, when everyone completed their task on time and the path is created, and you prove that yes, your project is finished on time. Yes, sometimes it's come error, but you need to just what we say finished or just take over the time, right? Means you need to manage the time. Yes, sometimes it's happened like material is not there inside, machines not working properly, so 2 days we are not doing work, but that 2 days work you need to complete on that particular time only. You do not give extra time. If your work is extended, that means your project not completed on time, got it, not finished on time. Now we have seen the dummy activity, right? What kind of work we need to choose and how we give some kind of codes of that particular. Yeah. Then we have seen standard representation of the event, that is called event code, EST and LST, earliest time and latest start time, earliest start time and latest start time. Okay. Now, so on that basis, we create that diagram, and it's called the critical path of interrelationship activity or outer relationship activity, because everyone is dependent on each other for that particular work. Now we have seen the network analysis. Okay, that day we have seen some network analysis and how we calculated that. We have seen already of that. Okay, how we calculate earliest times and all. Don't worry, I will share that notes with all of you, so it's help you to calculate EST and LST, because the problem is there. But if you understand how we calculate, then it's easy to calculate it. So there is a float we have seen as on that Friday, how all these things, and we calculate also. Okay, so today we'll start the network revision, how what it is and how it will start. So what is a network revision? So we create network here. Okay, yes, on that basis we create. You give the chart, means already you submit your reports on time. So on that basis you prepare a chart, and the formulations, the time, the periods, the material cost, everything, and that basis you prepare the network, right? Means critical path network, which one is, and you have add that earliest time and latest start time, everything you mention, and on that basis you prepare the network diagram or critical path diagram, which shows the your work is completed on time or not. So on that basis we have calculate the cost, right? Wait a minute. Huh. Now, what is network revision? So same thing is happened weekly basis. Same thing we are submitted 15 days, 20 days, 30 days, monthly basis, quarterly basis, and half yearly basis, right? So the steps involved in developing the initial network provided two basis pieces of information, right? An estimate of the project duration and the critical path. Yes, everything we need to submit and we'll create the critical path. The initial network constructed is examined to convert it into a valid practical network and sacrifice the project requirements and provides the basis of effective implementation and control. That is most important. So the process is called network revision, means weekly basis, daily basis, same work, same critical path create, accounts department, marketing department, then their machinery department, what invoice department, right? So everywhere do their practical work regarding that, and that's called network revision. So the purpose of revision is a twofold, and firstly it's concerned with improving the quality of information in the network. Yes, what kind of information you put on that chart, and information about the relationship and durations of activity. Obviously you have given some kind of codes of every activity, and they are related to each other, means A completed, then B, C, D, and on that basis it's easy to create the critical path. So secondly, it is concerned with ensuring that the final network satisfied the project objectives, and these related are four factors: time, cost, resources, and performance, right? See, practically it's really important when you join any corporate or any organization. That time you realize ki what we learn in project management, what it is a factor: time, cost, resources, and all. Same thing you applied in your work, same thing, no changes, because I was working, so that time I know that things are very well. Every time, every moment, everything, it's very important, right? If I lost my 5 minutes, it means I need to work more than 15 minutes, more than 20 minutes, because link is most important. But someone's call came, someone's problem is there, so some employee discuss with us, sometimes meetings are there, boss called for meeting, management called for meeting. So we need to manage the time because there is also important. And all things you do, and after that you focus on that work, what kind of figures you have mentioned. So every time you just note down all it. If your work 1 hour work is completed, then you just mention, yes, that is the material figure which I have received now or morning or afternoon. Okay, then next afternoon or next evening you got the figure. So every day, every time you need to manage all the things, and on that basis, if you manage everything, the performance will grow. Got it? So now the reviewing the relationship. Yes. What is the relationship of coding? I told you that first group A, B, C is depends each other. So at the revision stage, the activity durations must be re-examined in the light of information about the project duration and critical path. Yes, whatever the path we have created, it is important. So work may have to be analyzed in greater details. Suppliers may have to be contacted for confirmation of current delivery periods and so on. So less accurate estimate can usually the tolerated for activities with plenty of flow. Yes, lot of activities depends on that particular what that particular things, that particular time, that particular cost, that particular mm, resources, whatever the resources you require to complete that task, right? So it's most important, and project management is not a easy subject. I'm telling you, you need to work or study practically and theoretically also. Okay, now next, hope you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Now next it is reviewing of the duration of activities. Yes, every day, whatever the activity you have completed, you review it, and on that basis, you prepare monthly analysis and daily analysis and quarterly and half quarterly analysis, right? So it is important, and that is the reviewing duration of activity. So revision stage activity duration must be what it is, must be examined in the light of information about the project duration and critical path. So work may have been analyzed in greater details. Yes, you required for that more details so that you completed your work. And suppliers may have been contracted for confirmation of current delivery periods. Yes, whatever the material you received, whatever the material is going on the road, so every time they just contacted you, yes, tomorrow it will reach, or after 5 days it will reach, whatever. So you need to maintain that things. So less accurate estimate can usually be tolerated for activities with plenty of load. Yes, so you just focus on that particular activity which is really important, and those who are not important, so you just keeps outside. Okay, just focus on particular that time because you have a plenty of work and you need a very less time to fulfill on that time. So for some activities the duration is variable. So sometimes you required carry out the work depends almost entirely upon quality of accuracy. Of course quality is important, not like that कि काम करना है तो काम किया और submit कर दिया. No, because everything auditors and compliances is checked everything. Okay, so estimate, for example, you just use demi materials, right? So your project, आपका प्रोजेक्ट बनने से पहले ही अगर प्रोजेक्ट खराब हो जाता है, you will not get cost whatever you decided the project because you use a very dull material for your projects. Okay, so estimate for research and development work, producing the advertising copy of design work may be of these types, right? So that is the approach for reviewing the duration of activities when they are not critical, is the use of the concept of the available on that particular time. It's important, very important. So one useful little check which can be applied to the activity, okay, duration. So we calculate the number of durations because of some general bias created. Obviously someone is doing lot, someone is not doing lot, so the percentage is, theoretical percentage is created only 50%. We have seen now simple examples. Oh, you are 128 students and only 30 students log in the class, right? So how we create the ratio means when we analyze the lecture wise what path. So we have found like that only 30 students are doing regular, and uh, more than 70 to 80 100 students are not logging the class, right? So that is the bias, and that is the percentage we have calculated ki only 30% students are sincere to do that. So every time we research and development and analysis is most important. So daily basis, if because we send your attendance on daily basis, right? So daily basis we have calculate your ratio, your bar diagram. So it is very low, right? No one, never it is a higher, means every day we have just what create that reports. So project objectives, while in theory the objectives of every project should be clearly defined at the outset. So the practice that is not always done. Yes, it's not always done. Sometimes it's new work and everyone start that first time. So they said, you know, आप ऐसा नहीं कह सकते कि मैं first time कह रहा हूँ, but because you are a master and you have to do without any hesitation, because you learn, you know how to start it, because ideas and training already you provided, and after that you want to start it. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पहली बार without training or without information you start कर रहे हो. Got it? So you do on that. So the clear definition of a project objective statements about objectives is usually expressed in terms of time, cost, resource, and performance. So it will be realized that the objective stated in terms of one factor may conflict with others. For example, it may not be possible to complete a project in the shortest time and at minimum cost. And shortest time at minimum cost. So if network is to be checked to see whenever it satisfies the project objective, so the objective must have stated in such a way as to recognize and apply priority assigned this and priority to their relationship. So whatever the objective, for example, whatever the objective you have chosen in your SIP, and if you are not what we say what analyze each in data analysis, so it means if you analyze very well means your project is going good, but if you are not mention in data analysis what you are doing, your project topic is different, your material is different, and you are doing some different, and you are present some different, that means you are not a perfect project manager, or you don't have understand what is SIP project. Got it? So as a faculty member, we find out like that, yes, what you are doing on that particular topic, right? So it is the meeting time objective. So whenever you start your work means your objective will be cleared. Now, so meeting time objective, what it is? Meeting time objective, it means the project duration calculated from the initial network. Yes, the new path 1, part 2, or phase 1, phase 2. On that basis, we calculate. So that is the from initial network may not be acceptable to the management. So this means that the revision stage, the network must be modified to satisfy a day time limit set for the project. Yes. So if the project duration is to be reduced, the critical activities must be subjected first to careful examination. Changes in relationship in turn affect the time along the concerned path as discussed earlier, right? So as discussed earlier, you need to discuss with earlier, then you start on that particular project. Okay. Wait a minute. Yes. Now where we are. Yes. So examination and discuss earlier. Now the possibilities of changes in the relationship have been exhausted. Sometimes we have irritated same work we do every last month, 2 months, 3 months, same work. So that time we exhausted, but we don't have a scope because we need to work fast and we need to complete that project on time. So reduction in the duration of critical activities may be examined. So in some cases, it may mean diverting resources from non-critical activities to critical, and in other this may mean the use of more labor, machines, and overtime work or extra shifts, right? So that is the mean. Now meeting cost objective, what it is meeting cost objective? Yes, do you understand what I'm saying? Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible? What I'm saying exactly? Hope you understand, because it's a project management subject and you become a manager, then you also start that kind of project. Got it? Yes. Now, yes. So here the number of fittings, some kind of jobs, it's a very different projects and different work you need to fulfill when you join any project, right? So the number of fitting jobs may be unrelated in network, right? So work can be allocated, then the jobs will have to be done one after the others. And first you need to complete one work and then you start another, but sometimes it's the situation is created that 1 to 2 works you start at a time, right? So the scientist flow to allow this, the project completion date will remain unaffected. But if the float is inadequate, the additional filter has to be employed or later completion date accepted. Means sometimes it's happened, sometimes the error comes and also that time you just extend the date of project more than 1 week or 2 3 days, not uh, more. So the another aspect, what another aspect, that relationship between two duration activities resources allotted to it. Sometimes what we say like that, the work is depend on each other. So the relation is created, A with B with C with D, है ना? A group with B group, A phase with B phase, that kind of. And on for that work, the original durations assume normal resources, but for some activities, and this time may be varied by altering resources for jobs. Sometimes it's we need to require alternatives, right now. So if I'm not come, so I just hand over my work to others, or I just inform my teamwork, or I just inform my boss, he due to some reason we are not coming. So your work is not pending, you just hand over your work and then you left. So there's certain critical activities may be speed up by putting on additional resources, while activities with plenty of load may be allotted or allowed to take long time, है ना? some kind of activity will take long time. So examination of the network means every day whatever the work you are completed, that is the audited, means examine. Yes, whatever the tasks you have given, you have completed on time, or finishing of work, quality of work you have submitted or not. Every day they checked, because in production companies, if production manager is there and they have created every day 100 product, that means they have checked the quality of all 100 product. They not mean like that ki 100 product nikal liye hai na, but you need to check quality. Sometimes shape is not improper, sometimes design is not proper, sometimes because it is not possible कि 100 product निकालना है तो 100 के 100 भी same आएंगे, है ना. For example, if someone's product, the what we say, the bath soap, right? Moti, it's a gold round shape soap. So when he or she production, so they check everything, their shape, right, their quality, their material, their weight, है ना, only 20 gram 100 gram weight of that particular soap. So sometimes it's created 100 gram 500 gram, right? So every shape, size, weight you need to check, means perfect quality of production is required, and same day you need to check it, means you are doing a perfect production. So it's responsible for product manager. Got it? So that kind of work you need to do. Sometimes the due to some error the work is extended, but duration is not extended, and whatever the duration, whatever the time you have provided, you need to complete the task. Now the second aspect, if we're talking about the relationship between performance, time and certain activities, yes, if A completed their work and B is depend on, means A perform very well, that's why B perform very well. If B perform very well, means A and B is perform very well, means C perform very well. So that is the relationship, means it's depend on परफॉर्मेंस बेस. इफ अगर ए ने अच्छा काम नहीं किया और बी ने स्टार्ट कर दिया, ऑब्वियसली बी का परफॉर्मेंस डाउन होगा, क्योंकि ए ने ही क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क सबमिट नहीं किया. गॉट इट? सो इट डिपेंड. सो वॉट एवर द वर्क यू हैव स्टार्ट, यू जस्ट चेक इट कि उसने सही किया है कि नहीं, क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क है कि नहीं, अप्रूवल इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो व्हेन ए's work is finished, so the team manager or the project manager give signal कि yes, your work is done, now B is started. Without approval you don't start. Okay, first you check your work and then you start, because it's overall it's calculate the performance, right? Now the performance must what? A reduction in time allotted for development work, testing, specifications are there, everything is there, because it's a work. Now the what we final network means when you completed all activities A B C D, whatever the group, phase A, phase B, phase 3, group A, group B, group C. So finally means daily basis networks, quarterly, weekly basis, everything. So if we calculate a quarterly base network, so you need to check your daily base network. If your daily basis critical path or whatever the data you have submitted is good, means weekly work is going good. If weekly work is going good, is monthly work is going good. If monthly is going good, means quarterly based network, whatever we have calculated that day, so it's a perfect figure or perfect calculation, you will get it, means your objective, whatever you have decided, that particular performance, it's fulfill, right? So balance, right objective, right performance and perfect quality, you have submitted that particular work. Now the activity schedule, what it is? Activity schedule means we have seen the earliest start time and latest start time, right? So whatever the activity scheduling means, one day whatever the work you have assigned, you fulfill or you finished with quality of work. Same second day, same weekly, same 15 days, same monthly base, same quarterly base. So means daily basis the perfect quality you have submitted, means you will get the exact time of what project done, right? Means exact time you have to calculate. Sometimes it's happened ki you have complete your work before time, and it's good sign, right? So here we have calculated all activities on that basis, that earliest start time, if you start earliest, so what exact time you have to start, and at the latest start time, means if sometimes you have some activity जो आपको पता ही नहीं है कि ये भी करना है, तो latest start time what it is, you just mention it. By disturbing float, sometimes it's happened, machine error is come, manpower is not comes on time due to some kind. So by कब आया था वो टाइम भी आपको लिख के रखना है, मेंशन करना है, whatever the format you have given. Then at arbitrary start time means what, you don't know, sometimes light चली गई है ना, और आपको पता ही नहीं है कब आने वाली है. Got it? So it will comes whatever the time, 3 घंटा बाद, 2 घंटा बाद, so that is the time you need to start, and that's called arbitrary time. Means you don't know, है ना, उसके बारे में आपको पता ही नहीं है कि कब आया, लेकिन अगर 6 बजे आया है और आप सुबह से लेके 6 बजे तक खाली बैठे हो, that means you need to start work on 6 o'clock and finish that day activity, because it's a production activity or whatever the project related activity. Now by considering resources availability, है ना, sometimes you need to calculate, means उस time वो resource available है कि नहीं. अगर आज मुझे काम करना है तो मुझे कल ही, मतलब before one day we checked whatever the material we required for that particular work, whatever the what time, machinery, manpower we required for particular work, and we just follow up to all. Yes, tomorrow we have to start that particular activity on time and finished it. So whatever the material, resources, everything you just ready, है ना. तो ये सब प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर, एज अ प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर आपको ये चेक करना है कि ये सब रेडी है कि नहीं कल की एक्टिविटी के लिए, राइट? So that you started, means everything you required, that is earliest start time, latest start time, disturbing float time, whatever the reasons you have mentioned in your book. Then arbitrary time, sometimes it's happened, and by considering resources availability, all figures if you have, then you have calculate a perfect float, perfect critical path, right? समटाइम्स ना कि अगर आपने ऑन टाइम किया तो भी इसका क्रिटिकल पाथ, अगर आप जल्दी स्टार्ट करते हो तो भी उसका कैलकुलेशंस मेंशन होगा, लेट स्टार्ट करते हो उसका भी कैलकुलेशंस मेंशन होगा, क्योंकि ऑल फिगर्स आर मेंशन ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर. Now what it is, all activities started at earliest start time. It's not possible ki all activities start with earliest. Some for 4 groups are there, right? Everyone start their work, so A start on earlier but B is not started earlier क्योंकि B A पे depend है, right? If A sometimes अगर A को एक काम करने के लिए 2 घंटा लग रहा है तो B 2 घंटे बाद ही स्टार्ट करेगा, उसके पहले काम नहीं कर सकता. Got it? So that is the activity, means कौन कौन अर्लीस्ट स्टार्ट करेगा उसका टाइम वो मेंशन करेंगे, एंड आफ्टर ए का कंप्लीट होने के बाद बी करेगा, ए बी का कंप्लीट होने के बाद सी करेगा. सो ऑल टाइम्स, ऑल एक्टिविटी दे जस्ट मेंशन on that chart. So the schedule start time can be read straight from the network without further computations. And the approach, whatever the approach is created, means sometimes it's advantages, sometimes it नुकसान तो होगा ही ना. अगर टेलर भी कुछ वर्क कर रहा है तो उसमें भी उसका सम लॉस तो होता ही है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता है. सो दैट विल बी फाइन बट यू नीड टू मेंशन इट, राइट? So using the network as a rigid schedule to start activity as early as May results in unnecessary increase in cost. Cost increase नहीं करना है. Whatever the cost you have given, means if you given 100 rupees, means you need to expense only 100 rupees or 19 rupees, not more than 110, 120. Got it? So same thing is applicable in your project. Whatever the cost you have given or whatever the cost mentioned in your budget, only that you. And if sometimes it's happened, कुछ लगता है कि नहीं यार इसमें ज्यादा लग रहा है, तो before that you need to take approval. You just inform your project manager, if he approved, then you mention that कि extend हुआ है, क्यों extend हुआ है. Sometimes the machinery part is there, sometimes the rate of tolerance रहता है ना. जैसे आज अगर मैंने स्टील का रेट देखा तो 30 था फॉर एग्जाम्पल, और अगर मुझे कल स्टार्ट करना है, कल देखा तो 35 हो गया, तो ये 5 रुपीज बढ़ गया, जो मुझे अलाउ नहीं है मेरे कॉस्ट में ऐड करने के लिए. बट फॉर दैट वी नीड टू, व्हेन वी प्रिपेयर आवर प्रोजेक्ट और बजट, सो 5 to 10 रुपीज का टॉलरेंस आपको दिखाना ही है. सो दैट विल बी एक्सेप्टेड. बट बिफोर approval you can't do it, you just take an approval and then you start. So in installation sorry, so expensive plant and requirement delivered at the earliest possible time may be laying ideal awaiting installation. Yes, जब पूरा काम हो जाएगा then installation का time आएगा. So that time you require some ideal time, some means everything is required for that particular site. Means you start the installation on time and you finished installation on time, or staff may be recruited well before there any work for them, or you just recruited expert people, those who are finished work on time, right? So from the angle of finance, money should be spent as late as possible. This means carrying out activities as late as possible. So everything you require so that you finished your project on time. If sometimes finance नहीं है इसलिए पड़ा हुआ है, हम लोग देखते हैं ना बहुत सारी जगह पे, जैसे साइट कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है तो ड्यू टू फाइनेंस नहीं है, इसकी वजह से आधा काम करके उन्होंने छोड़ दिया है. सो दैट मीन वो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं हुआ है ना. मीन्स whatever the project means commitment. If you committed someone's ki I will give a position or I will submit that particular work or time, means it's your responsibility to submit it. If some kind of errors अगर बीच में कोई छोड़ जाता है तो obviously the project will not completed on time, और आप एज गुड प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर नहीं कहलाओगे अगर आप कहीं और भी अप्लाई करोगे. तो दे जस्ट सीन कि आपने कितने प्रोजेक्ट ऑन टाइम पे किए हैं. और अभी तो पूरा क्या दिखता है, ट्रांसपेरेंसी है, दे विल चेक एवरीवेयर, हमारा सब दिखता है, हमारे नाम दिखते हैं. नाउअडेज कंपनी आल्सो मेंशन द नेम्स ऑफ द एम्प्लॉइज, और इफ यू आर कंप्लीटेड प्रोजेक्ट और इफ यू आर वर्किंग ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर, सो दे चेक and that basis they will select you. Okay, so all activities started at the latest start time. And from the financial point of view, if we think about the approaches as some kind of result, some kind of uh, profits, it's depend on that particular time. If you start on time, means you are in profitable, you have a lot of approaches to complete that task on time, and finance is going good, means you have a that particular finance, means like that ki you completed your task only the budget whatever the project manager approved. Okay, so everything is going good, means that latest time you are completed your activities on that float or on that way. Now all activities started by disturbing float. Yes, what is disturbing float? Sometimes some errors are come, sometimes due to some meetings we are start lating because some kinds of approval not received, that's why the work is started late. Okay, so what as a compromise है ना, between two mention extreme, like that starting all activities at earliest start time or starting all activities at latest time, whatever. So it is possible to distribute the total float which exists in chain of activities in such a way that each individual activities is allocated a portion, right? If I am busy in meeting and my A group team is working, right? A group means there are only 10 or 5 people. But I am 3 hours I was busy in meeting and all A group waiting me of that approval, because my approval they are without my approval they are not start next activity. So 3 hour waste. Got it? When I will when my I'll came after that they will start mean 3 hours and a total 3 hour waste because they are waiting for me that particular approval. then they start, means whatever the time lost, so they fulfill it. And all B group and C group also waiting, क्योंकि जब तक A का complete नहीं होगा B and C कैसे start करेगा. So that is a floating time, disturbing time. It's happened. So next time when that kind of thing is happened, so I just give authority to main person or my team leaders कि yes, अगर ऐसा होता है तो you handle that thing. Okay, but work stop nahi hona chahiye. Got it? But sometimes it's happened because due to major cause, due to major machines problem, due to light is not, or some power is not there. Sometimes it's happened. Sometimes. Okay. सो और बहुत बार तो जैसे पता चल जाता है कि नहीं, वेडनेसडे लाइट नहीं रहता है, थर्सडे लाइट नहीं रहता है, सो दैट डे दे अज्यूम कि आज लाइट नहीं है तो काम नहीं होगा. बट समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है कि नहीं, लाइट हम लोग अज्यूम करके चलते हैं बट लाइट आ जाता है, राइट? तो वो हमारे लिए प्लस पॉइंट होता है कि चलो वॉट एवर द अज्यूमिंग, बट हमें उसका बेनिफिट मिल गया क्योंकि आज वर्क स्टॉप नहीं हुआ. So the main objection to this method is that is allowed float to be given up and used as a contingency allowances, and major delay occurs. One may find that the float given away earliest is now desperately needed. Sometimes it's desperately, मुझे आज ही चाहिए बस. Don't give me any cause, don't show me any cause, don't give me any excuse, मुझे चाहिए बस. Got it? So why they are saying like that means last 2 days, 3 days you are not reported whatever the work is going on, what kind of trouble you face, right? So that's why they don't listen your reasons, and they just says ki yes, you need to complete that work on time. So there is always a danger, and because of that report we are not submitted on time. So what happened on that time? कि एक फेमस पार्किंसन का लॉ है, एंड ही सेड लाइक दैट कि which states that work expand to fill the time available for its completion. Means work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Means completion के लिए आपको time का क्या करना पड़ेगा, work को क्या करना पड़ेगा, expand करना पड़ेगा, right? But it's sometimes, not all time. That's why smart project manager required for complete that project. Yes, now all activities started at arbitrary start time. What it is, some is the dilemma, right? So to leave decisions about the actual start time to the person responsible for the execution of that activity. Means obviously, sorry, person is responsible, means as the project manager is responsible, or as a team leader is responsible. What, right? So for and simple examples, what the institution give you the submission your SIP project on time, right? Means you are responsible for that. If you are not submitted on time, doesn't matter whatever the reasons behind it. Someone says like that, no, my work is extended. Someone says like that, the company not provided the data. Someone says like that, if they don't understand how to make some data analysis. Doesn't matter. Institute never listen your excuses. Whatever the time you have given, you just report it. हाँ, इसमें एक ये भी बात है कि जैसे आपको पता चला है कि नहीं, आज मतलब आज कौन सी डेट है, 20, 19, वॉट एवर 18, सॉरी, और नेक्स्ट वीक मीन्स नेक्स्ट मंथ इज अ लास्ट मंथ. सो आज अगर आपको पता चला है कि यू विल नॉट गेट डाटा, और कंपनी नॉट वॉट एवर द SIP प्रोजेक्ट जहाँ पे भी आप काम कर रहे हैं, दे आर नॉट सपोर्टेड, and you are not started or you are not submitted your chapters. So same day you just inform your mentor or inform your guide. So that kind of things happened with me, what we do. So they will, or he will, or she will give you the suggestions what you do, right? But physically meeting is important, right? So you can understand very well. बट ऑन द सबमिशन ऑफ रिपोर्ट डे, जैसे 20 अक्टूबर का अगर आपको रिपोर्ट सबमिट करना है और दैट डे आप एक्सक्यूज दे रहे हो, रीजन दे रहे हो, सो नो वन इज एंटरटेन टू यू। इतने दिन से क्या किया, इतने दिन क्यों नहीं बताया, इतने दिन क्यों नहीं आके मिले? So same thing happened in corporate, happened in project plant, any plants. Means you are not capable. Got it? So reporting, communication is most important. अगर वहां पे gap आ जाता है, communication gap, reporting gap, means no one is responsible. Only you are responsible for that, and because of you, you missed the project, right? You missed everything because no proper communication is there, no physical meeting with your guide. That's why you are not submitted your chapters. That's why you are not doing the data analysis and all. Means you are, and all it is the negligence of work, ignorance of work, waste of time, right? So just value the time. Whatever the time you have given, you just start it, early start karo, latest start karo, whatever. And लिंक टूट जाती है, बहुत सारे बच्चे बोलते हैं समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, कंफ्यूजन है, what it is this, अभी आपका आविष्कार आ रहा है, so you need to present it, you just focused on that particular आविष्कार, but no one is ready to do it. Why? Because they are confused, because someone is working. So same thing happened in site or plant. The project manager is a very confused because lot of people work under him. Some technical departments errors are there, some invoice departments error are there, procurement departments error are there. Lot of people called him at a time कि ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, but he handled very well. He never panic, or he never blame, or he never complained that person or that particular things, because he know how to handle the things, because the date, he focused on the date ki that particular date I have to complete my project. So he handle, he communicate with all, he very soft spoken, how to complete their work. He is a motivating person. The quality of leader, you know very well na? So the quality of project manager also like a leader's quality. So everything he managed, he trained the people and complete the task. So that is the arbitrage time started, and here the pointing out that the must be started between earliest time or latest time, in between whatever the error comes. So this approach is usually unsatisfactory and leads to a lot of confusion as a project, whatever we have discussed now. So as no one can be really sure when activities carried out by others are going to finish, किसी को भी पता नहीं है, because क्योंकि error आया हुआ है. So and hence they cannot easily plan their own work. Obviously सब mismatch हो जाता है ना. So this approach also has the disadvantages of disrupted float method, as for one reason or the others, the float would have been gradually used up, leaving all the remaining activities critical. Simple example, अभी गणपति आ रहे हैं, right? अभी नाउ यू आर टू मच कंफ्यूज, गणपति करना है, प्रोजेक्ट करना है, आविष्कार करना है, लेक्चर्स करना है, राइट? व्हाट वी डू, बट यू नीड टू मैनेज टाइम. गौरी भी है इसी में, बट यू नीड टू मैनेज टाइम एवरी, हाँ थोड़ा नींद कम करना होगा, है ना, वट एवर द स्लिप यू 8 आवर और 10 आवर्स ना. सो जस्ट फॉर मैसेजेस को थोड़ा ये करो, व्हाट्सएप और फोन्स को थोड़ा कम करो, सो यू मैनेज योर टाइम एज ऑन. और आप अकेले तो नहीं कर रहे हो, फैमिली मेंबर्स आर देयर, राइट? सो एवरीवन, सबको टाइम मैनेज करके, सबको थोड़ा कन्विंस करके अगर आप करोगे तो डेफिनेटली यू विल डू इट. लेक्चर सुनते सुनते आप डेकोरेशन कर सकते हो, लेक्चर सुनते सुनते आप बाकी और भी वर्क कर सकते हो, बट इट्स डिपेंड ऑन यू हाउ टू मैनेज इट. Those who are not know how to do it, so they failed at all time. They failed. Okay, hope you understand what I am saying. Yes, now the activity started by considering resources availability. Yes, some kind of activities when we start, the all resources is available. For example, production company is there, so all material, all things is available. So the production of product is what very started with very easy. बट अगर आज मुझे 100 का 150 का प्रोडक्शन करना है और मेरे पास 100 मटेरियल 100 प्रोडक्ट का ही मटेरियल है, so it's not possible to complete all 150 product, right? So we need to check it ki yes, whatever the product or whatever the activity we need to do, means all things is ready on site or plant or whatever. So the planning, whatever the planning important होना है. जैसे आज मेरा काम complete हो गया, कल मुझे क्या करना है, so the plan is to be ready for that. That means we complete the all activity on time. So now time is over. Next means tomorrow. I don't know, tomorrow is lecture is not, but then we'll start the resources analysis and scheduling. It's help you to your SIP project also, because how we analyze the objective and whatever you learn on that particular session. Okay. Yes, I am audible. सबको
Yes,
समझ में
ma'am.
आ रहा है कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
मुझे किसी का आवाज ही नहीं आ रहा है. Okay, Shivam, would you like to ask any question? Okay, fine. So have a good day to all of you. We'll see you
Thank you, ma'am.
next session. So bye bye, take care.
Bye bye, ma'am.